Hey everybody, Dr. Nelson here. In this video, we're going to use our understanding of polynomials to solve a couple problems. So the first page, I want you to follow along with me, and then on the second page, there'll be some problems for you to try, and then at the end, you can see how you did. So the first problem involves the Smith property, and notice it's a rectangle, and the first question says, write an expression that represents the perimeter of the property. So the perimeter is the distance around. So to get the perimeter, I need to do twice the length plus twice the width. So it's going to be 2 times the length, which is 2x plus 3, plus twice the width, which is 2 times x plus 5. Now I need to distribute, so that's going to be 4x plus 6, plus 2x plus 10, and then finally combine the like terms, so 4x and 2x is 6x, and 6 plus 10 is 16. So the expression 6x plus 16 represents the perimeter of the property. Part 2 says write an expression that represents the area of the property. So to find the area, we need to multiply 2x plus 3 times x plus 5. And because we're multiplying two binomials, we have to use FOIL, right? So when I multiply 2x times x, I get 2x squared. When I multiply the outside terms, 2x times 5 is 10x. The inside terms, 3 times x is 3x. And then the last term is 3 times 5 is 15. So this would simplify to 2x squared plus 13x plus 15. Let me squeeze that down here. So 2x squared plus 13x plus 15, and that expression represents the area of the Smith property. All right, number 3, it says use the expression from problem number 1 to determine the perimeter of the property. Well, we know the expression for the perimeter is 6x plus 16, and now they're saying that x equals 15. So if I replace the x with the 15, so it's going to be 6 times 15 plus 16. And 6 times 15 gives us 90. And 90 plus 16 will give us 106. And because it's perimeter, we'll call it feet. And then last but not least, it says use the expression from problem number 2 to determine the area of the property. So again, I'm going to copy down again the expression 2x squared plus 13x plus 15. And we know that x equals 20, so I'm going to substitute a 20 in for every x. So this is really going to be 2 times 20 squared plus 13 times 20, and then plus 15. And remember, when you do this, you need to follow the order of operations. So 20 squared is 400. 400 times 2 is 800. Plus 13 times 20 is 260. And then plus 15 at the end. And finally, when I add 800, 260, and 15, we get a sum of 1,085. So the answer is going to be 1,085. We'll call it square feet. And there it is. All right, so I want you to pause the video and try the problems on the next page. And then when you're done, hit play. You can see how you did. All right, good luck. All right, welcome back. Let's say you do this practice problem. So this problem involves 2 different rectangles. One is large, one is small. And the first question says, write an expression that represents the area of the large rectangle. So we know the length and width of the large rectangle. So it's going to be n plus 10 times n plus 8. So I need to now use FOIL. So n times n is n squared. The outside term is 8n. The inside is going to be 10n. So add those together and you get 18n. And then we multiply the last 2 terms. 10 times 8 is 80. All right, part 2 says write an expression that represents the area of the small rectangle. All right, so we know it's going to be n plus 4 times n plus 7. And again, n times n is n squared. And n times 4 is 4n. Plus 7 times n is going to be 11n. And then 4 times 7 gives us a 28. Alright, so now we know the area of both the large rectangle and then the small rectangle. Part 3, it says, write an expression that represents the combined areas, or combined area of both rectangles. So I need to combine or add the terms. So n squared and n squared is going to be 2n squared. 11n and 18n will give us a 19n. And then 80 plus 28 is 108. And the last part, it says, use the expression from problem number 3 to determine the total area when n equals 10. Alright, so I'm going to substitute a 10 in for every n here. So it's going to be 2 times 10 squared plus 19n, or times 10, and then plus 108. And when I follow over operations, this is going to be 10 squared, which is 100, times 2 is 200. And that's going to be 19 times 10 is 190. And then plus 108. And when I combine 200 plus 190 plus 108, I get a final answer of 508. And because we're assuming it's going to be area, we can just call it square feet. And there it is. All right, how'd you do?